This whole routine is done without lube, other than the saliva from your tongue. So all the external work on the anterior cervicals, no lubrication. I don't want to be slipping off the SCM. All right. All right, I'd like you to lift your head up off the table and relax. All right. So since this didn't get done yesterday, I do want you to understand how important the SCM is to the fascia that's involved with the muscles of mastication. There's a lot of fascial work that goes on here because we don't lubricate. You're going to move very slowly. Keep a good feel, and I should have done this before I started. If it gets intense, or you feel like you have to hold your breath, tap on the table. If you're holding your breath, the muscle won't relax, and we're both working too hard. All right. Find the part where I want to treat, turn the head to that side. When we treat the SCM, we turn to the same side, not the opposite side. It was a very good release. Are you doing okay? Top layer on one side done, top layer on the other side gets started. So each time we treat, we go back and forth. Big breath in and out. Very good release. You doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, myofascial release starting at the mastoid process, directly behind the ear. Now, just below the mastoid process is it's supposed to be a soft spot, and you don't want to push in there too hard. We palpate it gently, but the styloid process is in there, so don't press in too hard. But starting at the mastoid process, I'm going to pull up on both sides and then pull back a little bit. Just press my fingers in flatly to the muscle. This is now I'm going to come up and around temporalis. I go first in the direction that the fibers of temporalis go. So it's going to make like a star around the ear. myofascial release of the fascia around the SCM in the ear. Now she got earrings, so I don't want to pull on her earlobe because that would be uncomfortable. So you actually have to kind of stick the thumb into the ear and grasp the lower part of the ear just below or just behind the earlobe and pull outward and then downward. Grasp in, pull outward, and then downward. Doing okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, mylohyoid, digastric and mylohyoid are both muscles for swallowing. I want to come in a little mental process on the chin. First, I'm going to come along the line of the jaw, just kind of gently pulling outward. Feel that little tiny flip that felt like a guitar string? Mm-hmm. That's your digastric. It was a little bit tight. Now, the digastric has two different muscle bellies on each digastric. Starts here at the chin, goes down to the hyoid, and then goes back along the jawline to kind of dive in under the SCM. I want a little myofascial spread for the mylohyoid. And the geniohyoid. That's my favorite muscle. And then I'm going to play the little rhythm game with the cricoid cartilage. A little back and forth. You got a little click going on there. We did up along longest coli and longest capitis, where we place our finger beside the SCM and push down on the side of the trachea, and we're pushing for that muscle behind that go up the anterior portion of the cervical vertebrae. Longest coli and longest capitis. Remember, their overload is to feel like you got a lump in your throat, so they affect the swallowing mechanism. Good. Digastric. Still got a little tightness in here. So I'm going to go back and hit those SCMs again one more time. Lift the head a little. Pick up near the angle of the jaw here. I just place my fingers there and then rotate the head and drop the chin. That might have been a little bit spicy. Are you doing okay? Mm-hmm. Same thing on the other side. Lift the head. Find your spot that you got to go into, rotate the head, and then, ooh, that one's releasing as I tilt your head. And then drop the chin down just a little. Remember with NMT, we always want to friction those attachments. Coming up the external masseter. I'm going to hold one side of the jaw with my fingers, and the other hand will come upward. I'm not going to use that one that fell on the floor, so I got to put them in her mouth, so that's just fair. Other side, start at the line of the jaw, come upward. Do this very slowly. The muscle will release as you're coming up. When we get to this zygomatic arch here, I'm going to press in and friction forward towards the front of her face a little bit. Move my fingers, compress in, and friction once more. Friction this side. A little bit of nice, because some of this is kind of intense. All right. Oh, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And would you, I didn't put the tissues back. I need 2 tissues.
Those boxes
It's right there next to the skull.
Next to the skull.
Or-
Thank you. I get one, you get one. I'm going to have you put one hand on the table. We've all been to the dentist, and you know it's really stupid when he puts his hands in your mouth and then asks you questions. If it gets very intense, tap on the table. You tap out, I'm going to feel it, I'm going to come out and check in with what's going on. Because it's hard for you to say, oh, when my hand is in your mouth. So, even on somebody, I've done this on a few times, I always like to explain what I'm doing when I go into the mouth. It doesn't add any time onto the massage and often puts them at ease, because this one is a little bit nervous making. People would rather have you stick your elbow in their glutes than your finger in their mouth. So think on that for a minute. All right, I'm going to turn your head to the right side. I'll put the finger in and sweep from top to bottom 3 times.
Okay.
When I pull my hand out, you got tissue. If it makes you drool, you just wipe it out.
Oh.
All right, and turn to the right. All right, open. And then just relax your jaw. 1. All the way up. Sweep downward. 2. All the way up. And sweep downward. 3. Doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, same thing on the other side. All the way up till I can feel that zygomatic arch and sweep to the bottom. All the way up. Sweep down. Remember, I'm trying to puff the cheek out with my finger to help stretch those cheek muscles. You doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now I will do the pincher palpation gently from top to the bottom of the masseter. So back over to this side, open. I come in and I'm going to press towards towards the back of her mouth.